Hello and welcome to this edition of Bayou Time. I'm your host, Keith Weisheit, licensed clinical social worker with Terrebonne Home Care. Very glad you're joining us. However you may be joining us, we appreciate it. And I got to tell you, there's something that's been on my mind. There's something that's been bothering me a little bit. And you know, here again, we have COVID, made a huge difference in our community. And then we have Ida, the most destructive single event to ever impact Houma, I think even historically, and all the things, certainly with the volume of people that is impacted and the volume of buildings and the different structures in our community that are not here. During that time, in our recovery process, there were a lot of people here from out of town. There were a lot of people that don't live here that were here in our community. The one area that I think has impacted, that I've seen the most, is on the roads. And so I saw a number of vehicles here from out of town, certain different states, and they seem to have a lot of aggressive drivers. And I just found that to be a theme here after this storm, that we're going to celebrate 2 years in just a couple of months. The other thing that's been a little bit of a problem for me in our area is that I get to spend time every day on the road. I spend a great deal of time on the road, as the mileage on my vehicle would tell me. And in doing so, I am alarmed at the people who are driving carelessly, the people who are driving aggressively, and the people that are driving distracted. I'm going to give you a couple of examples. I am at a 25 mile an hour speed zone in a neighborhood on a Thursday afternoon. It is a nice day, and there is a street that only has 12 houses on each side. It's a street that makes a horseshoe, so there are 2 turns in that street. There's a gentleman in a vehicle driving so aggressively that I felt the need to follow that person and ask them to not drive so aggressively in a 25 mile an hour speed zone in a neighborhood, right next to a 15 mile an hour speed zone at a school early in the afternoon. The alarm for me is that there are people that live on that street that are 84 and 85 years old. And I couldn't imagine what it would be like for either of those older people or seniors to walk across the street with someone driving some 35, 40 miles an hour, driving very recklessly on both sides of the street, not stopping at the only stop sign on the street, and then barreling through the next stop sign, passing in front of a school, doing 3 times the speed limit. I decided to do something about it. So I pulled up to that gentleman who had pulled into a gas station and simply asked if he could slow down in a neighborhood. And you might be surprised what the reaction was. He said, "Yes, sir." I am hoping that people hear this message and do and say the same thing. Right now in our community, there are a lot of different state programs that are now doing construction in our area. We have construction on 3 or 4 different main thoroughfares in our city, in Houma and Terrebonne Parish. In Houma and Terrebonne Parish, we also have in those same areas some of the most impatient, some of the most distracted, and some of the most frustrated drivers here. In a 3-day period on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, April 21st, 22nd, and 23rd, I witnessed 11 people blatantly running red lights. 11. Now, I'm fortunate that I get to sit up here and talk with state troopers. I get up here and talk with HPD and the Fourche Parish Sheriff's Office and Terrebonne Parish Sheriff's Office about some of the needs that we have in our community. Well, I will tell you, one of the biggest needs we have in our community is for people to pay better attention, for people to respect and honor the laws, and for people to honestly be a little nicer on the road. And I will tell you that I know that people are in a hurry. I know that people need to get where they're going. But several of the people that I saw pass up red lights pulled into places to get food, or pulled into Lowe's, or pulled into a gas station. And I'm just wondering to myself, is it that necessary to put themselves and other people's lives in danger simply to get somewhere just a little bit faster? I would like to challenge the people in our community to take a breath, slow down, to do what my friend Earl Hughes says all the time: put your phone down, turn your radio off, and here in this beautiful springtime weather, maybe lower the windows and just relax. We spend so much time and energy trying to get to the next thing that maybe we're forgetting the most important thing. Driving a vehicle takes a great deal of responsibility. And I will tell you, with some of the people that I've worked with over the years that have had a bad situation or a bad accident that was their fault, it's something that they regret for the rest of their life. Please be aware of your surroundings. Please take consideration for those around you. And like we talked about with several professionals in our area, there's a lot more people on the road, near the roads, than we normally have. There's a lot of people still displaced, a lot of people living on the street. Let's not make things more difficult in our area, in our community. I ask you to just do this. Be a little more vigilant. Slow down. Unplug. Find a way. Take a deep breath. And more importantly, maybe leave a little bit earlier. Just take a little cushion for that time and maybe not schedule so many things. I ask you this because the people in our community are important. I ask you to take care of those people, and I want you to take care of you. Thank you for letting me share with you what we need to do to take care of each other a little bit better. And don't go anywhere. We have a whole lot more right here from Bayou Time.